Hi guys. Extramarital affairs are becoming an increasingly troubling issue, impacting the happiness and stability of many families. They are one of the leading causes of marital breakdowns. In the past, men were typically seen as the primary participants in infidelity. However, as society evolves, new challenges have emerged, including affairs involving women. Unlike men, who tend to hide their affairs skillfully, women often experience emotional changes that are harder to conceal. Affairs can bring women a sense of excitement, reminiscent of the initial spark of falling in love. However, there is a key difference. For women, infidelity often leans more toward fulfilling physical needs rather than emotional love. The reality is, no matter how carefully a middle-aged woman tries to hide her affair, there are certain telltale signs that reveal the truth. Women, being naturally emotional, tend to exhibit noticeable changes in their personality, behavior, and even physical appearance when they cheat. For men, recognizing these changes can be crucial in understanding what might be happening in the relationship. So, what are these changes, and how can you identify if a woman is involved in an affair? Let's dive into the details right now. 1. Changes in behavior and attitude. A woman's change in behavior often directly reflects her attitude toward her partner. For example, she might become indifferent, quick to anger, overly critical, or prone to complaining. If these traits were not part of her usual personality but have recently emerged, it's a strong indication that something has shifted. Most likely, her attention has turned elsewhere. Increased irritability and criticism. She may frequently point out your flaws, criticize you, or seem perpetually dissatisfied. This behavior might stem from comparison, consciously or unconsciously, with someone else. Indifference. Conversely, she might stop arguing, nagging, or showing any concern for what you do. If she suddenly appears uninterested in your actions or decisions, it may be because her emotional energy is focused on someone else. Many men misinterpret sudden mood swings or irritability as signs of menopause, dismissing them as natural hormonal changes. While menopause can certainly influence a woman's behavior, it's crucial not to overlook the possibility of an affair. Emotional or behavioral changes that are uncharacteristic and sudden often indicate a deeper external influence. Key examples. If she used to be gentle and caring but now frequently picks fights or seems hostile, it may be because she's emotionally invested elsewhere and sees her current relationship as a burden. On the other hand, if she previously nagged or critiqued but suddenly stops caring altogether, allowing you to do whatever you please without comment, it could indicate emotional detachment and preoccupation with someone else. Behavioral changes in a middle-aged woman should not be ignored. Whether she's overly critical or completely indifferent, these shifts are often signs that her emotional focus has shifted outside the marriage. For men, recognizing and addressing these changes early can help uncover underlying issues and potentially salvage the relationship before it deteriorates further. Tier 2. Changes in interests and hobbies. A person's preferences and interests rarely change overnight, unless there is an external influence prompting the shift. If your partner suddenly develops new tastes, hobbies, or routines that seem out of character, it could be a sign that someone else is influencing her. Examples of behavioral changes to watch for. New music preferences. If she previously disliked sentimental or romantic songs like bolero ballads, but now sings them all day, it might reflect her emotional state or connection to someone else. Increased attention to appearance. If she never cared much for makeup, fashion, or grooming, but now spends more time getting dressed, applying makeup, or admiring herself in the mirror, it could be an effort to impress someone new. Sudden interest in fitness. If she unexpectedly starts hitting the gym, practicing yoga, or engaging in activities to improve her physical appearance, this might not be just for her own health. It could be to attract or please another person. Consider whether these changes could be for you or for herself. If the changes are unexpected and don't align with her past behaviors, You need to ask yourself, why now? What has motivated this transformation after so many years? Who could be inspiring this change? If it's not you, it's important to understand whether someone else is influencing her. Even the smallest shifts in a woman's preferences, especially in middle age, can have a deeper cause. While personal growth and self-improvement are natural, sudden or dramatic changes in interests often point to an external factor. 3. She cooks less and the quality of meals declines. For a woman who values family, the kitchen is often seen as the heart of the home. Cooking meals for her loved ones is not just a routine, it's an expression of love and care. However, when a woman becomes emotionally or romantically invested in someone outside her marriage, her focus shifts, and this is often reflected in her approach to cooking and homemaking. Signs to look for. Less time in the kitchen. She may cook less frequently, opting instead to buy takeout or ready-made meals. This can indicate a loss of interest in maintaining the warmth of the home. Declining quality of meals. When she does cook, the meals may lack the care and attention they once had. She might forget to season properly or prepare dishes half-heartedly, as her emotional investment in the family diminishes. Excuses for mistakes. If she starts making frequent mistakes in cooking, like overly salty or bland dishes, and brushes it off as forgetting to taste, it could signal that her mind is preoccupied elsewhere. Other related signs: neglecting household chores. She may become less attentive to housework or caring for the children, leaving things undone or relying on others to take over. Spending less time at home. She might find excuses to stay out or avoid family responsibilities altogether. When a woman feels disconnected from her family, she naturally stops investing her energy and emotions into the household. Her attention shifts to external factors, such as a new relationship, leaving her uninterested in maintaining the warmth and harmony of her home life. 4. She criticizes more and praises less. If a woman suddenly focuses only on pointing out her partner's faults while withholding any form of praise or appreciation, it could be a sign of something deeper. This behavior is often linked to an internal justification mechanism. When a woman is involved in an affair, she may develop a habit of finding faults in her husband to rationalize her actions. The more she can blame her partner, the less guilt she feels about her infidelity. Examples of this behavior: exaggerating mistakes. Small imperfections or innocent oversights by her husband may be blown out of proportion. Constant complaints. She may frequently say things like, "You never do anything right," or "You're the reason I'm so unhappy." Blame shifting. This is a psychological coping mechanism. For example, she might say, "If you had been more attentive, I wouldn't have done this." The tendency to criticize stems from the need to justify the affair. By magnifying her partner's flaws, she creates a narrative where her actions feel deserved or understandable. Reduce guilt. Criticizing her partner helps alleviate the emotional burden of cheating. She convinces herself that the relationship's problems are entirely his fault, minimizing her own sense of wrongdoing. Prepare for the fallout. In the event that her affair is discovered, she may already have a list of grievances to deflect responsibility and avoid accountability. If your partner has shifted from balance, acknowledging both your strengths and weaknesses, to exclusively focusing on your faults, it's a red flag. While this behavior doesn't always point to infidelity, it's often a sign of emotional distance or dissatisfaction in the relationship. 5. She keeps secrets on her phone. When it comes to infidelity, both men and women tend to hide secrets on their phones. However, a woman's unusual behavior with her phone can be a clear giveaway if she's having an affair. Common signs of secretive phone behavior: excessive messaging. She spends a lot of time texting, often smiling or laughing to herself while doing so. Password protection. She may suddenly add a password to her phone, change it frequently, or refuse to share it with you. Guarding her phone. If she becomes overly protective of her phone, avoids leaving it unattended, or reacts defensively if you try to touch it, it's a red flag. Private conversations. She takes calls or messages in private, ensuring you can't overhear or see her screen. Nervous or defensive reactions. If you ask to see her phone or inquire about her behavior, she may become irritated, snap at you, or even snatch the phone from your hands. In today's digital age, phones have become the central hub for communication, and often secrets. Messages, photos, call logs, and even social media interactions can all serve as potential hiding places for someone engaged in an affair. Because of this, women who cheat tend to be extremely cautious with their phones. If she's suddenly more secretive with her phone than usual, it could indicate she's communicating with someone she doesn't want you to know about. She's emotionally or physically involved with another person and trying to hide the evidence. 6. She's no longer interested in intimacy with you. This is a very noticeable sign. When a woman finds every excuse to reject her husband's advances, or when she's never the one to initiate intimacy, that's a serious issue. She might come up with many reasons, and men often think that women, especially as they get older, lose interest in sex. But that's not necessarily true. One of the reasons a middle-aged woman might lose interest in intimacy is that she may have already found satisfaction with another man. Middle-aged women who cheat are often more driven by sexual desire. When they get the fulfillment they're missing from someone else, the excitement and passion they feel with this other man makes them lose interest in their husband. If you notice your wife becoming indifferent to intimacy, it's a serious warning sign for your marriage. Women who enjoy these 4 things are more likely to cheat and disregard family happiness. Dear friends, in today's world, both men and women are at risk of infidelity and engaging in extramarital relationships. However, not everyone falls into this pattern. That said, women who show a strong inclination towards certain behaviors or preferences may be more prone to cheating and undermining family happiness. Here's the first habit that raises the likelihood of infidelity. 1. Sleeping alone. Sleeping separately from one's spouse can significantly impact the dynamics of a marital relationship. For young couples, sleeping apart can harm the emotional and physical bond essential for a strong marriage. While it's more commonly accepted among older couples due to health or comfort reasons, frequent separation at night can create emotional distance, making infidelity more likely. Many elders advise their daughters to avoid sleeping separately from their husbands unless there's a serious intention to live apart or consider divorce. Sharing a bed fosters intimacy, connection, and trust, key pillars of a healthy marriage. Why sleeping alone can be a risk factor. Lack of physical connection. Physical proximity during sleep helps maintain emotional closeness. Prolonged separation at night may weaken this bond. Increased emotional distance. Sleeping apart can lead to feelings of neglect or isolation, especially if the couple doesn't spend quality time together during the day. Greater opportunity for infidelity. Being physically apart at night can reduce accountability, creating more opportunities for extramarital relationships. 2. Communicating less with their partner. One of the strongest indicators of emotional distance in a relationship is a significant reduction in communication. Reflecting on earlier days of love, couples often have endless things to say, eagerly sharing thoughts and feelings. However, when a woman starts speaking less or avoids meaningful conversations, it can signal that her emotional energy is being directed elsewhere. When a woman stops communicating openly with her partner, it often indicates emotional detachment. If her attention is focused on someone else, she may no longer feel the need or desire to invest in the relationship. While this can be painful for the partner, it's important to address the issue calmly and explore the reasons behind the change. 3. Expressing a desire for divorce. When a woman frequently mentions divorce during conflicts, it may indicate her patience with the relationship has worn thin. For a woman emotionally or romantically involved with another man, divorce can feel like a way to free herself from the responsibilities and constraints of her current marriage. She may believe that leaving will allow her to pursue the relationship she truly desires. 4. Avoiding home. When the emotional connection in a marriage fades, the warmth of the home often fades with it. For a woman who has lost interest in her relationship, the house may no longer feel like a place of comfort and belonging. Instead, it becomes a space filled with emptiness, leading her to seek distractions outside. Signs of avoidance. Preferring to stay out. She finds excuses to extend her time away from home after work or during weekends. Frequent social outings. She increasingly spends time with friends or engages in activities that keep her away from the family. Expressing boredom at home. She openly admits that being at home feels dull or unfulfilling. If a woman frequently avoids being at home, it becomes difficult to know what she's doing or who she's spending time with. Over time, this behavior can lead to a deeper emotional divide and may signal infidelity or the desire for separation. Unbelievable, but true, women cheat more often than men. Dear friends, for a long time, infidelity has been seen as a vice predominantly associated with men. It's widely believed that the majority of extramarital affairs involve husbands, with surveys suggesting that 8 out of 10 men admit to cheating at least once in their lives. However, while men's affairs are often attributed to physical desires or a carefree nature, they rarely lead to the collapse of a marriage. In contrast, family breakdowns and divorces tend to occur more frequently when women are the ones having affairs. The main reasons why women cheat. 1. Lack of attention from her husband. The first reason women cheat often stems from their husbands. While men may cheat due to physical needs, women's reasons for infidelity are more emotionally driven. It happens because their husbands are indifferent, not paying enough attention to them. Unlike men, women are more emotionally inclined and have a deep need for emotional fulfillment. Women's need to be loved and pampered is often greater than that of men. Even after many years of marriage, women still want to feel like a cherished girl, protected and cared for by their husbands. When dating, men show their full attention and care, sometimes worrying over even the slightest frown or concern from their partner, doing everything they can to make her happy. But after marriage, this attention often fades, and their indifference starts to show. They forget anniversaries, gifts, and the sweet words they used to say. Additionally, after marriage, their social circle often shrinks, and their focus narrows to work, children, and family. If the husband is frequently away on business or long trips, it can leave the wife feeling lonely and empty. A woman's heart is fragile and easily broken, so when a third man appears, offering care and attention every day, over time it's easy for her to become emotionally attached. 2. Frequent arguments. Women often enter marriage with high hopes and dreams of a perfect relationship. Unlike men, women tend to place a greater emotional investment in their marriage, expecting it to meet their ideals. But when reality falls short, conflicts arise and arguments become frequent. Modern women, influenced by movies, TV shows, and social media, often carry an image of the perfect man in their minds, a man who embodies all the qualities they desire. This ideal isn't real, but the illusion of perfection makes them demand more from their partners. When arguments pile up and their partner fails to meet these high expectations, some women may begin to seek someone who resembles their fantasy in the real world. This emotional detachment can ultimately lead to infidelity, driven by the belief that the perfect man exists out there somewhere. 3. The workplace, a fertile ground for infidelity. Certain professions expose women to environments where the likelihood of infidelity is notably higher. Here are some careers where women may face greater temptation. 1. Secretaries and personal assistants to male executives. Female assistants, especially those working closely with male directors, often face unique challenges. These roles require frequent interactions, business trips, and meetings with clients, creating opportunities for emotional or romantic involvement. Sometimes the proximity, combined with career advancement prospects or financial benefits, can lead to inappropriate relationships. 2. Real estate agents and car sales professionals. These professions often involve meeting clients in informal settings like coffee shops, restaurants, or karaoke bars to close deals. Since clients in these industries are often wealthy and influential, women in these roles may find themselves vulnerable to advances or enticed by the allure of affluence and status. 3. Entertainment and hospitality industry workers. Women working in bars, nightclubs, karaoke lounges, or similar venues face a high level of interaction with the opposite sex, often in environments that encourage flirtation and physical closeness. The casual and social nature of these settings increases the likelihood of crossing professional boundaries. 4. A wife cheats to get revenge. This type of infidelity often stems from the husband's own behavior, repeated affairs, and neglect of his wife and children. Modern women are no longer bound by traditional expectations like women of the past. If a husband cheats, some women feel justified in doing the same to get back at him. The message is clear: if you can cheat, so can I. The best solution for husbands with a wandering eye is to recognize the damage their actions cause, abandon such habits, and make a genuine effort to restore trust and happiness in the family before it's too late. 5. Lack of sexual compatibility. Sexual intimacy is a cornerstone of marital happiness, and women have physical needs just as much as men, sometimes even more. A significant number of women who cheat do so because their husbands fail to meet their needs. After years of marriage, some husbands lose interest, especially if they no longer find their wife as attractive as before. Weeks may go by with little to no intimacy, leaving the wife feeling unwanted and frustrated. Performance issues. Some husbands struggle to satisfy their wife in the bedroom, leading to unmet desires and emotional dissatisfaction. Sex is not just about physical gratification. It's a way to strengthen emotional bonds and maintain a sense of closeness. A lack of intimacy can lead to feelings of rejection, loneliness, and eventually infidelity. A harmonious sexual relationship is key to a strong and happy marriage. For couples experiencing difficulties, making an effort to understand and fulfill each other's needs can prevent frustration and keep the relationship thriving. 6. Women entering their second spring. Statistics show that the majority of women who cheat are aged 35, 40, or even 50, often referred to as the second spring of their lives. At this stage, children have grown up, life has become more stable financially, and women have more time to focus on self-care, such as visiting spas and pursuing beauty routines. During this period, women experience a resurgence of sexual desire and a deep craving for love and affection. However, their husbands, who may also be aging, often struggle to meet their physical and emotional needs. This mismatch leads some women to seek younger, more energetic partners who can satisfy their heightened desires. For women in their second spring, these relationships offer not only physical fulfillment, but also a sense of vitality and renewed passion. 7. Wanting to escape their marriage. When a woman decides she wants to divorce, it usually means she has lost all emotional connection to her husband. Instead of having a direct conversation about separation, some women may resort to actions that force their spouse to end the marriage. These tactics can include pretending to have an affair, openly cheating with another man in front of their husband, accusing their husband of infidelity to shift blame. Interestingly, studies show that infidelity is more likely to occur midweek, particularly on Wednesdays. Research by a well-known dating website in the UK found that Wednesday evenings are often chosen for affairs because they fall between the family-focused weekends and the work-intensive start of the week. The study, which surveyed 172,000 users, revealed that 10% of participants said the most common time for secret meetings is between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. This window allows individuals to unwind from their routine by seeking solace or excitement in an affair. If you suspect your spouse of infidelity, pay close attention to their activities on Wednesday evenings. Keep track of their whereabouts during the danger zone hours to confirm or dispel your suspicions. Wealthy individuals are more likely to cheat. People with significant financial resources often feel they can use their money to acquire anything they desire. A study on infidelity by the University of Washington found that individuals earning more than $75,000 per year are 1.5 times more likely to cheat than those earning under $30,000 annually. In addition to income, education level also plays a role in infidelity. The same study revealed that a high school dropout is 1.75 times less likely to cheat than someone with a framed college degree displayed in their office. Another study further highlighted that Americans with lower socioeconomic status are less likely to engage in infidelity. Women are more likely to consider infidelity during ovulation. Studies show that during ovulation, when estrogen levels are high and the body is at its most fertile, women are more likely to entertain thoughts of infidelity, even if only in their imagination. Researchers at the University of New Mexico found that women experience heightened sexual attraction during ovulation. Many participants in the study admitted to daydreaming about men other than their husbands during this time. This behavior is believed to be a natural reproductive instinct. The body, driven by its biological programming, uses subtle cues, such as increased desire or attraction, to maximize reproductive opportunities. Key behaviors. During ovulation, choosing bright clothing. Women may gravitate toward colors like red or pink, which are associated with attraction. Enhanced grooming. They might spend more time on makeup and personal appearance. Heightened senses. Women report being more sensitive to the scent of attractive men during ovulation. These behaviors, while often subconscious, are signs of what's referred to as emotional infidelity. Women are encouraged to remain mindful of their body's natural inclinations during ovulation to avoid being misled into impulsive decisions. Infidelity may be linked to genetics. A study conducted in 2010 by Binghamton University revealed that the tendency to cheat might be embedded in our DNA, specifically in the DRD4 gene. Known as the thrill-seeking gene, DRD4 influences dopamine receptors in the brain and is linked to behaviors such as gambling, alcohol use, and varied sexual activities. Justin Garcia and his team studied 181 young adults, and their findings showed that the presence of this gene may explain why some individuals are more prone to engaging in unconventional sexual behaviors. Key findings. About 50% of the population carries the DRD4 gene. However, having the gene doesn't guarantee infidelity. Social pressures, personal values, and life experiences significantly influence marital fidelity. Children who grow up witnessing infidelity in their parents, particularly a mother's unfaithfulness, are more likely to struggle with fidelity themselves. Conversely, children from faithful households are more likely to value loyalty in relationships. While genetics may play a role, the study emphasizes that external factors like upbringing, societal norms, and personal choices hold significant weight in determining one's behavior in relationships. Most people cheat with someone less attractive than their spouse. In a survey conducted by Victoria Milan involving 4,000 participants, only 25% of men admitted that their mistress was more attractive than their wife. Despite the common belief that men are primarily driven by physical attraction, the survey revealed a different perspective. Many respondents stated that their mistresses were more compassionate and better listeners than their wives. This made infidelity appealing, as it gave them a sense of being valued and understood. While physical allure is undeniably attractive to men, during emotionally vulnerable moments, the need for acknowledgement, empathy, and emotional connection outweighs mere physical beauty, often driving them toward infidelity.